Oh, hello, folks. Welcome to another one of my movie reviews. This time I'm talking about Into the Storm. This movie, long story short, this movie is terrible. The entire time I was watching this thing, I couldn't help but think of Twister. Maybe the people who made this movie have seen that, or The Day After Tomorrow. This movie is absolute garbage. There's no redeeming qualities, and it's one of those movies that, like, Sharknado is a bad movie in that it doesn't take itself seriously at all, or the Piranha 3D movies, or Piranha, whatever. I think that's what those were called. I've never seen those ones. But if you're gonna make a joke and make it a satirical look on, like, gore-fest horror movie things, or drama, whatever, it's funny. But this movie takes itself so seriously, and it just falls into so many tropes, and the characters are... It's like watching Godzilla with no Godzilla in it. Just the character parts, and it is horrible. Terrible movie. I've already seen Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm probably going to see it again in the next few days. I've been thinking about doing a review for it. That movie is amazing. Absolutely highly recommend it. The point I haven't done a review is because I think everyone's already talked about it by now. Nobody watches my reviews anyway. So, I could talk about this movie for hours as to how bad it is. I'll say this: there's a scene, literally like shot for shot, where there's a water level that's rising up to drown a main character, and he's on the phone talking to his dad, which, to my knowledge, literally mirrors a scene from The Day After Tomorrow. The only reason I know that is because of the South Park episode where they're making fun of, I think it's The Day Before The Day After Tomorrow, where they're talking about global warming, which is an amazing episode, by the way. It was just... Twister, coming from, I think, what, it was like 97 that movie came out, is still a better movie than this. They even had the nerve to put the cow flying through one of the shots. So I don't know... It seems like one of those, like, the Epic movie and the Meet the Spartans, like that kind of thing. But it takes itself seriously. Like, it's crazy. Now, I will say the special effects in this movie are cool, but what are you expecting? It's like, oh, man, that tornado's gone. Oh my god, another tornado! I mean, there's no, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of your time. And I didn't want to see this movie. I knew it was going to be bad to begin with, but I just kind of went into someone else's plans at the last minute, so I was just kind of dragged in. I wanted to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I couldn't believe that the theater was packed. I mean, this movie, this is like the movie where I wanted to actually go and ask for my money back, which I've never done before. It was that bad. And so they take these characters that you don't care about at all, and then put them in these threatening situations and try to force emotions onto them, or force character development. Like, I'm gonna do minor spoilers here. You shouldn't watch this movie, so it doesn't matter. There's a character that they're these storms chasers. That's their job. They go and film storms, just like Twister. And there's a guy who keeps screwing up, and he's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to die. I want to quit. Blah blah blah. And they talk to him. They're like, look, you have to do this. Just get through this day. And guess what? He's I think he is the only main character that dies. And on top of that, how does he die? Oh, there's a huge fire tornado coming. He drops his camera. So this is the character who's established that he doesn't want to be there. He values his life over the research that they're doing. Drops his camera, and he's like, no, I have to go back for the footage, and dies. He betrayed his... It's poorly written, poorly made. The acting is really bad. Which I feel kind of bad for, because it seems like a lot of these actors are just starting their movie careers, and this is gonna work against them in a lot of ways. Again, I could talk about this for hours, but there's another thing with the there's basically this tank that they've created to go into tornadoes to view the eye of the tornado, the eye of the storm, and it has these pikes that go into the ground to stop it from moving. Now, that would make sense for a tank if it was shooting very heavy artillery. It would stop it from moving backwards because the force is directly proportional to the opposite direction of the shell being shot. That's physics. With a tornado, it's more of a lifting effect. And when these pikes literally just stick in like tent pegs, it's not going to do anything when it's being pulled up. If they were barbed and they went down maybe like 6 feet into concrete, okay, I'll buy it. But they're doing it in dirt. And even at the end of the movie, It's really, really stupid. And if this movie didn't take itself so seriously, it might have actually been a little bit more fun, but because it did, it's just groan-worthy. There's these two redneck characters that you immediately hate, and continue to hate through the entire movie, and that's it. They're only there just to be annoying, I guess, and get in the way. It's just so and even then, they don't serve any purpose to the plot whatsoever. They try to put the whole family dynamic of, you know, these two sons and their father, there's the animosity, and this brings them together, and another son finds love with his sweetheart. It's just so stupid. And I'm just gonna do one more huge gripe with this movie. There's a point where they tether the tank, which has a tether on the front of it, to the front of a truck in order to stop it from being pulled into the tornado. Now, in between the tether from the tank and this truck is a tunnel full of all the survivors from the movie. Now what happens, well, I won't even say what happens, but all I will say, which this did not happen, but in real life it would have happened, the tether, realistically, would have pulled off the front of that truck, the bumper of the truck, before it pulled off anything else. And that would have killed every single person in that tunnel. Would have killed every single person in that tunnel. And I think there were about 20, maybe 25 people in there. So you know that's not going to happen because then it would just kill the entire cast, but it's so stupid and nonsensical that it didn't happen, yet something else did. It's really dumb. I cannot stress enough, do not see this movie. I'm giving it a negative 17 on a vector scale with a bell curve that approaches infinity on both sides. This score is not even falling in the standard deviation, so please don't waste your money. There's way better movies right now in theaters. Again, I highly recommend Guardians of the Galaxy. I've heard TMNT is pretty decent. Hopefully I'll see that soon. And I heard Hercules is decent if it's more of like an Expendables thing, where as long as you're not going to take the movie too seriously, it's a good time. This movie, absolute garbage. The whole time I was watching it, I am waiting and I'm hoping that guy with the glasses, Doug Walker, the critic, the nostalgia critic, does a review on this, because as I'm watching this movie, I felt like I was seeing it through his eyes, just how bad it was. Thank you guys for watching another one of my movie reviews. This is one that just flowed through me. I let the hate flow through me like a Sith Lord. If you guys want to subscribe for more of my movie reviews, best way to do that, go to the nearest cinema to you and go in and buy a movie ticket for Into the Storm. Now take that movie ticket and drive over to West Hollywood. And what I want you guys to do is staple all of your ticket stubs to the front door of the director of this movie. I want you to just litter his house with these. And once this news story breaks that there's been mass vandalism and defacement of his property, I will look through the database of people that have been charged for it, and I'll add you as a subscriber to my channel. As always, folks, thank you so much for watching. Any questions, comments, concerns, you can leave them in the suggestion box over at the door. I would really appreciate that. And otherwise, I guess have a good lunch. Have a grand old time dancing the samba in the moonlight. Wait, these roulette Doritos suck. None of them have been hot at all. They're terrible. I will waste the money. Oh!